Coming to you live from a remote North Carolina island, it appears. It's another rendition of Best Bets on the Sleepers channel. We're talking Tuesday plays. It's the best time of year in college basketball world. We got all day basketball games right now. Mark Wallace is with us. You can see Mark on the Weekend Wagers show every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern on this channel. Mark, I don't know if you're in vacation mode or not, but does betting stop for you when you're in vacation mode?
Not at all. First, still work mode, still work mode, still have tons of stuff to do. But not only does betting mode not stop for me, uh, I love the fact that being here in North Carolina, we can actually bet on college player props, and that has been fantastic. It just opens up a whole new world.
It's a great world. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite worlds. All right, let's get to our plays. Mark, you can go first. What you got tonight?
Well, let's stick with the ice. Despite what's happening on behind me, I'm going to stick to the frozen water. We're going to start with the Ottawa Senators, just on the money line. You can get that at minus 110. They're playing Philadelphia, who have lost four straight games, and Ottawa comes into this winners of four of their last five. And I love this spot for them simply because the Flyers are playing like a defeated team. We have 5 weeks left in the NHL regular season, just under 5 weeks. And that postseason window for the Flyers is closing quickly, and they know it. There's not a whole lot that they can do to stop it. I love this spot to take Ottawa against a demoralized Flyers team.
Dion, we always have to vet Mark's hockey picks by you as our certified new hockey guy. Are you on board with that play?
I like that pick. I'm still trying to figure out the goalie stuff, but I like that pick. I like it minus 1.5 too.
Hmm. Okay, there we have it. Dion, what's your first one for tonight?
Yeah, I got Washington Capitals minus 1.5 plus 130 against the Anaheim Ducks. Little known fact I just learned: Alex Ovechkin's chasing Wayne Gretzky. Um, I like to call we're chasing ghosts. That's the way I call it. We're chasing ghosts. So I think he's pretty close. He has 886. I believe he needs 895. I'll let Mark fact check me on that. But I believe he's around 9 away. A Hattie tonight puts him, quick math, that's 6 away. That's 6 away. So the way I view it is he's three hat tricks away from breaking the record. I think we get one tonight.
Wow. Mark, thoughts?
Love the Ovechkin angle. One of the things that we have been doing with Rob Hockey is the one who pointed this out to me, and we have just been it's almost an auto bet, is if you think that the Capitals are going to win, play Ovechkin as the last goal scorer. You can usually get it for plus 675 to plus 900. They are looking to feed him every opportunity, and the minute the opposing team pulls their goalie to get a man advantage, they're feeding Ovechkin for that last goal. So that's another great way to play that.
That's fun.
Uh, Another little research thing I did too for this one. The Capitals only play 3 home games in April. Players love breaking records at home. He's going to try to get it in March.
Wow. All right. I'm in on all of the record-setting angles here that you're getting from Mark and Dion. All right. I'm just gonna take a bet. I can't believe they're giving us at plus money yet again. St. Mary's is plus 3.5 against Gonzaga on the money line. They're plus 145. Let me make one thing extremely clear. St. Mary's is the champion team of the West Coast Conference. They are the best team in the West Coast Conference. They swept Gonzaga in two regular season games. Going back to last year, they went 2-1 against Gonzaga with largely the same personnel. They won the West Coast Conference tournament, won this exact game against Gonzaga last year. Gonzaga's best players, Ryan Nembhard and Graham Ike. Don't trust them at all. Those guys are not wired like winners whatsoever. They're go through the motions players, and they are 1-4 against St. Mary's in the last 2 years. In their entire careers in Gonzaga uniforms, they've been favored in all of those games. They always lose those games. It doesn't make sense to me why or how the odds makers could watch what played out this season and just make Gonzaga a 3.5 point favorite over St. Mary's. I don't like it at all. St. Mary's is going to control tempo just like they did in the first two games. That really frustrates Gonzaga's extremely up tempo, fast break offense. We haven't seen them execute in a half court setting against good teams this year. So I will take the bait. I will take St. Mary's plus 3.5. I'm also on the money line plus 145 to win outright. Mark, I'll throw this back to you.
Actually, it's funny that you went with this game. I think this is probably one of the premier games being played today. I'm actually on the St. Mary's over 67.5 points.
Love
I
it.
think that Gonzaga tries to really push the tempo in this game to get out and make St. Mary's uncomfortable. I think St. Mary's has to keep up with the Gonzaga team in this one. It's tough beating any collegiate team, especially as good as Gonzaga has been. It's tough beating them 3 times in the same season. So I really like this to be a competitive game where St. Mary's gets pushed.
I like it. I'm with that play as well. Dion.
My second pick. This one confuses me. This is probably a spot you guys are going to want to fade me. I'm going to just be honest. I also don't know if JK is going to have this video up in time for this game. But very first game of the day, Cincinnati, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's getting 6.5 points. We just watched them beat Cincinnati by what felt about 20 on Saturday. And they're getting 6.5 points on a neutral. I don't know locations, but I'm pretty sure Oklahoma's closer to Kansas than Cincinnati is. So if anything, I would favor them for having more fans in the building. Again, this is probably a spot you want to fade me because I'm buying way into the Saturday game. But a blowout on Saturday, then you're getting more points in a neutral than you got at home at that. Give me Oklahoma State plus 6.5.
I don't hate that at all.
Uh,
Ride the hot hand. Yeah. There's a lot of agreeing from the three of us right now. I got no.
Actually, I agree with Dion when he says that's probably a fade me spot. I think the last time he tried to get one of these wagers in, under the gun before the game started, was the Syracuse women basketball team, and they folded like a cheap suit. So, yeah, I might be on the other side of this one.
Yeah, full transparency. That Syracuse game was insane. That they were up about 20. I turned the game off. I was like, we got a winner. Looked up, they were down. Didn't know what happened. They only scored about. That's happening to me a lot when I bet like women's basketball at the moment. There's been multiple games where the team I bet on scored less than 20 points in the second half. I got to figure out what's going on there.
Yes. I mean, just to lay this out as cleanly as I can, and Dion, I think you'll respect me taking this angle. So you're going head to head with a guy who is at his rental property with that backdrop, and he says it's time to fade you, and you are rocking with your play.
Yes. And so you always have to go with your heart. Always have to go with your heart. And my brain and my heart are aligned at the moment. He has that backdrop. Another fact. I'm a big fact guy right now. We're working on a PC setup in the other room. New backdrop coming soon.
This is true. This is true. All right, my final play is a late night college hoops play. I'm taking UCF plus 2.5 against Utah in the Big 12 tournament. UCF is a team that they've been very, I don't know, sporadic maybe, or erratic is the word that I'm looking for. When they're good, they can beat the best teams in the country. They played Houston incredibly close, lost a game by 1 against them early in the season, but they have won 3 of their last 5 to end the year. They beat Texas A&M and Texas Tech early. Those teams are going to be 3 seeds in the NCAA tournament. I believe in their upside, and I also believe they've just been a team that's gone through a lot of sort of ups and downs of motivation issues. And now here we are, season on the line. I expect them to actually at least care about this game. Meanwhile, Utah lost 4 of 5 to end the season. I think they're definitively the second worst team, if not worst team in the Big 12. UCF won the only meeting in the regular season between these two teams. They forced 19 turnovers 3 weeks ago when they beat Utah. The way these teams profile, they should force a bunch of turnovers again. And if you're looking for just maybe some shot variation stuff on this, UCF did not shoot well, shot 25% from 3 and still beat Utah head to head. That's usually a good sign. If you didn't make any of your shots and what you do still worked against a team, getting them at plus money outright, I think is a good bet, but I'll also just take the points here. Be safe. UCF plus 2.5. Anyone have any thoughts on that one?
I was just looking at the model as far as over under. The line right now is set at 156.5. The model has this one sailing way over at 163. So
Wow.
that's another one. Yeah, you're talking about two teams that are with adjusted tempo ranking that are in the top 100. Both of them are above the national average with Utah being at 102% of the national average, and UCF being at 106. So I love that both of these teams are playing at such a high pace to begin with. Look for a shootout.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. Dion, thoughts?
I love the pick. I love the pick. Can I give a bonus pick from the Big 12 2G? Little future.
Please. Please.
Iowa State plus 700 to win the tournament.
Whoa, talk to me.
So they get obviously they're the fifth seed, so they're gonna have to play an extra game than the top four seeds. That was crazy that I felt like I had to explain that, but I did. They're gonna be favored. They get the winner of Cincinnati, Oklahoma State. That's gonna be a blowout. They get BYU. What I like about Iowa State plus 700 is I think they'll be favorites against BYU. Now you're coming into the semifinals. They're gonna have to play Houston a game early. I think that's a spot where it's like if they get past that game, I think they're also favorites in the championship and you can hedge. I think they'll be favorites against Texas Tech or Arizona. Obviously, if Kansas or Baylor somehow sneak in there, I think they'll be favorites against them as well. It's really just that Houston game where I think they're going to be underdogs on their path to winning this tournament.
There's a lot of people that like Iowa State. I can see the angle. I just don't trust this team straight up. They were definitively supposed to be like Houston's 1B in this conference at the beginning of the year, and I know they had injury issues, but they were fully healthy and got beat at their crib by BYU like a week and a half ago. Maybe that's a revenge spot. I can be talked into that, but I don't know. My BYU love knows no bounds right now, so it's hard for me to jump on a 7-1 ticket.
No,
Yeah, I was
that's
just gonna
fair.
say, yeah, I was just gonna say BYU. There's two big ifs in that play. BYU being the first one, Houston being the second, and I think that BYU, especially when you see what they've done this year against teams like Kansas, destroyed and embarrassed Kansas. Just ran them right out of the building. I think that that's one too many if hurdles.
There are a lot of ifs. I really like this Iowa State team, though. I also don't. What I will say, I don't like this play about is Guy has them winning the national championship still. So I don't love
Scary.
that I'm hunting Guy on the same side as Guy, but I feel like I got to have one future. This is pretty solid value. The only other future I really liked was Florida to win the SEC. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be involved in that conference.
Yeah, I don't want to touch anyone in the SEC right now. Too scary, especially when Auburn could decide to show up and be healthy at some point. But
Yeah.
yeah, I will have to talk futures in a future conversation this week. Maybe we should have done that today. But I appreciate you bringing an extra one, Dion. Even if we immediately shot it down and picked holes in your argument, that's okay. We have more best bets videos coming later this week on Wednesday and Thursday. Catch Mark again on the Weekend Wager Show on Friday afternoon. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your bets, everybody.